Hello. So, do you know the Inspiration tab in YouTube Studio? You know, the tab where AI hallucinates some stupid ideas meant to quote-unquote inspire you? Yeah, I was looking through it, wanting to see something like why Minecraft 3 is a social commentary on capitalism, or how Deltarune approaches the topic of the housing crisis, or some bullshit like that, you know. But it gave me this. Ranking indie game protagonists based on how likely they are to commit tax fraud. It's, it's beautiful. And that fairy, who I assume is an accountant or an indie dev or a tax evader? I don't know, man. Yeah, I had to make this a reality. Probably the first time ever YouTube Inspiration AI did this job. Congratulations, YouTube AI! Anyway, here are the protagonists of various indie games that I've played, and indie games that I've not played, and AAA games that I've played. Yeah, I haven't really played that many indie games. So they will be ranked on this tier list here. S is something like always commits tax fraud, and D is never commits tax fraud. But it's not concrete. It's all based on my opinions, so I will be explaining my reasoning on each candidate too. Also, I am not from the US, and my knowledge about US taxing system is based purely on internet knowledge. Anyway, here we go, shall we? So, we start with the Terrarian. Now, I know the Terrarian is kinda a self-insert character, but we're not talking about me as in me, the creator of this video here, that comes later. But now, the Terrarian, do they commit tax fraud? You might say, yeah, all these antics profit from mobs and selling to NPCs. But is it really? If we were such an enemy of taxes, why would we save the tax collector, eh? Exactly. We're the institution that gets the taxes, as evident with the tax collector giving us money. But the tax collector we can only save in hard mode, so what about pre-hard mode? Okay, I say C tier. Unlikely to commit tax fraud only in very certain circumstances, like the wall not being murdered yet. As the protagonist, I'm considering the entirety of Monkey Force, from Dark Monkey to Sangod, from Quincy to Carvus, all of them! And they live in a capitalistic society. Come on, banks, hacking money, literally Wall Street, they live in a capitalistic society, they're not gonna commit tax fraud or the Monkey IRS gets them. D tier. The farmer from Stardew. We don't do taxes when selling in the bin or to peers, so you might say, oh, we commit tax fraud to the max. But is it really true? If you think that much ancient fruit wine can be shipped and sold without IRS noticing, I believe that Pierre does the taxes when we sell to him, and Louis does them when we sell via shipping bin. So, no tax fraud committed. Yay. D tier. Hornet. Hornet in the lands of the dying kingdom of Farlum. Would Hornet commit tax fraud? Yeah, I think so. She doesn't care about supporting the Citadel, and do you think that Mort pays his taxes? Do you think Hornet cares? But she's a princess, and it's not her kingdom. Nobody cares. A tier. Because she would care in her kingdom, probably. The Knight. Again, does Sly pay taxes? Nah. To who even? Who is there to pay taxes to? No one. The kingdom is dead. No tax register there. That means our little knight commits a lot of tax fraud. S tier. Chris. No, I'm not talking about this all. We don't know shit about it. Why we're even there? Why we're talking about Chris, okay? Okay. So, would Chris pay their taxes? I mean, probably. Would they go out of way to pay their taxes? To give cash to the government? Nah. If Dan and Susie made a quick back, no way they make an effort to do taxes. So they probably would pay taxes, but would avoid it if they can, and it isn't too demanding, too much job. So B tier. The Beheaded. Oh yeah, big Dead Cells spoilers. Hell, every game here spoilers that. Anyway, from my 40 hours of playing Dead Cells, I don't get the feeling from the Beheaded that he would pay taxes. But as we get to know in the true ending, the Beheaded is the king. The one who died. I know I haven't reached 5 BC, whatever. But yeah, he absolutely enforces taxes as the king. So let's say B tier. Cuphead and Magman. They literally went to hell to gamble. They ain't paying a dime to the tax foundation. But if, and that's a huge if, they got a job, then they probably would pay taxes since, I don't know, they don't want it to go to jail? Common sense! Also something Cuphead show, something bullshit, something, it isn't canon, or is it? I don't fucking know. A tier. Crazy Dave. I swear to God, if somebody says, but we're the Crazy Dave's neighbor are the real protagonist of PvZ, yeah, but I'm counting him. This is my video, deal with it. Anyway, the ranged David is not paying his taxes. He charges us 200 bucks for a garden rake, and in the wise words of Grunkle Stan,
I'm giving none of this to charity!
The tax services in this case. This is whatever S tier. Crewmates. Yes, I put crewmates from Among Us. Yes, this is another half the lore is from me vaguely remembering the show like in Cuphead. Yes, I could have put Geometry Dash Cube here. No, I didn't. No, I won't tell why. Yes, the Among Us is a capitalistic society and they would probably all pay their taxes. Yes, they get the D tier. Player from Raft. Apparently Raft has player characters. I don't know, I played it like what, 3.5, 4 years ago? Anyway, after extensive research, that is, looking at the wiki for one moment, I determined that these characters are cardboard cutouts with no personality. There were shops in Raft, I think. Anyway, wasn't the word like blanch in the case or flat or whatever? No government to pay taxes to, I think, so... I don't know, man, let's say C tier. Madeline. Now, I haven't beaten chapters 8 and 9 of Celeste, but I don't think that Madeline would commit tax fraud. She's nice and only went to the mountain to change herself or something. She wanted to change herself, not any government official, so I doubt she'd cheat on taxes. Plus she's Canadian. D tier. Dwarves, Deeper Galactic. Another game I haven't played in 3 years. They also live in a capitalistic society from what I can remember, so just D tier. Baker, or you. Finally I'm talking about myself. I'm the multi-version omnipotent time god of cookies in that game. Or I will be if I actually made some progress anyway. S tier. They ain't making a god of cookies and time and multiverse and whatever the fuck pay any taxes. Nah. Frisk. We have like 3 crimes of info about Frisk and Undertale. They're a child, they don't like soda, they prefer instant noodles dry. But since they're a child, and they don't have income, and I assume either the monsters pay their taxes or they're too dead to care, so I don't think that Frisk has too many opportunities to commit tax fraud. Not that they would anyway. They would steal and murder, but tax fraud? Nah, D tier. Henry Stickmin. Henry is a hardened criminal. You see, he robs a bank, a museum, an airship, and if you completing the mission routes, a space station. He does not pay his taxes, dude. I mean, he probably does in the routes where he works with the government, but they do his taxes. If he had the choice, he wouldn't pay the taxes. So, another S tier. Nico. We've come to the games that I haven't played. Yes, I haven't played One Shot, but I will, promise. After I finish Persona 3 and Persona 5 and Witcher 3 and a few other games I have on Steam, but I will, really. Okay, fine, maybe I will play One Shot before some of these games, but that's just because I don't feel like downloading 80 gigabytes worth of games on my 2.5 megabyte a second Wi-Fi. Anyway, from what I know, Nico is like 8 years old, and they're really nice to us, the player, so they're too nice to commit crimes, like tax fraud. D tier. I vaguely remember watching a YouTube series on this game. I don't think that the lamp would pay taxes to other people, but we create a settlement and are worshipped or something, so the taxes probably come to us. And I think that would put the lamp in a similar position to the beheaded, like no paying taxes to others, yes paying taxes to us. And so let's place lamp next to the beheaded in B tier. Turnip Boy. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. I mean, do you hear the title of this game? I put him here just because of the title. Yes, I put him here just because of the title has literally that he commits tax fraud in the title of this game. The whole game is about committing tax fraud or something. I haven't played it, S tier, whatever. Mercenaries. Team Fortress 2. So, AAA games, huh? I'm counting our mercs as one position, and I believe at least half of them wouldn't pay taxes. Let's go one by one, shall we? Scout? No. Soldier? No. Pyro? No. Demo? No. Heavy? Yes. NG? Yes. Medic? I'd say no. Sniper? Yes. And Spy? Yes. Height? 5 out of 9 wouldn't, so 8 here. The Proxy. Yes, I play ZZZ. You might have noticed I play a large variety of games. And if you're one of those judgmental types who think I'm some kind of Drake as did the Blood Minecraft YouTuber type fella, then I just say my favorite characters are Mia, Bibilia, and Remiel. Leave me alone, whatever. Anyway, going back to the topic of the MCs, they pay taxes from the video store, they don't pay taxes on their illegal black market job of being a criminal. So let's go with A tier. Chell from Portal. We don't have too much concrete info on Chell, and from a theory slash info slash whatever comment from 15 years ago by you slash Needies on Reddit, whatever. Chell was locked in the facility since she was a child, so not many opportunities to commit tax fraud there. But if she was a normal worker in the 21st century, she might have committed tax fraud. Don't know if she would or not, but she definitely didn't actually do it. But she has the potential. C tier. Steve Minecraft. Did you know that Steve was supposed to be a placeholder skin in Minecraft, so technically the movie Steve is the most canon one? That's why I use Jack Black Steve here. But we're counting the game Steve 2, and do villagers pay taxes? I mean, they're like slaves in the trading halls. And if you didn't personally lock them in a trading hall, the other players, like the YouTubers, did it 1,000 times and they're doing it more and will do it again. Game Steve pays no taxes. Movie Steve pay them in the normal world, but not in the Minecraft world. To who? I mean, probably. But let's give him S tier. So, here it is. The ranking indie game protagonists based on how likely they are to commit tax fraud. Tier list. Comment if you disagree, like the video if you agree, subscribe to me. I won't probably do content like that ever again. I don't know, man. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, whatever, depends on how I feel. I would say I'm gonna go and edit this video now, but really, I'm gonna procrastinate it for a week or more. Bye bye!